What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to another episode here on Cowboys Fam. In today's video, we're diving deep into the Cowboys' current roster, position by position. We'll break down the depth chart, discuss where things stand, and talk about potential moves that are on the horizon. The draft is just around the corner, and there are plenty of decisions to be made, so let's dive right into it. Cowboys roster, the big picture. As of now, the Cowboys roster sits at 74 players, that's 16 spots shy of the maximum of 90 players. With 10 draft picks in the upcoming draft, expect the Cowboys to make some moves. That means some cuts will likely happen post-draft, which is pretty standard practice around here. And let's not forget, the Cowboys had a pretty small undrafted free agent class, so don't expect a ton of major roster impact outside of the draft unless something unexpected happens. But here's the question I need to throw to you, Cowboys fans: what's your grade for the current roster? A? B? C? D? F? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get that conversation going. I'll be sure to check out what you guys think. Oh, and don't forget to hit that L in the comments if you're feeling it. Alright, let's get into the fun stuff. Quarterback room, Dak, Will, and a new face? Let's start with the quarterback room. Right now, it's just Dak Prescott and Will Grier, that's it. But don't worry, this won't be the final answer at QB. The Cowboys are definitely looking for a backup quarterback. The team likely wants to draft someone, and ideally, they'd use their 5th-round pick on a young QB who can develop behind Dak. Now, remember, the Cowboys have made attempts in the past to solidify their backup QB position. Who could forget the whole Trey Lance saga? But I think it's safe to say they'll take a more calculated approach this time. If they can land a solid young backup, it would be a win, especially if they can secure someone at a cost-effective price. Running back, a room in flux. Moving on to the running back room, things are looking very different. The Cowboys brought in Javonte Williams from Denver. Williams has been a bit of a disappointment over the last couple of seasons after an explosive rookie year. But there's still potential. He's a good pass protector and a reliable pass catcher out of the backfield, something the Cowboys' offense values. Miles Sanders is another interesting addition. He wasn't very impressive in Carolina, but when he was with Philadelphia, he was a major contributor to their success. We'll see how Sanders performs with a new team and a new system. But here's the real question: how many running backs will the Cowboys draft? I think a day 2 pick, maybe in the 2nd or 3rd round, could be the sweet spot for the Cowboys. If there's a running back they really like on the board, you could see them pull the trigger. Now I want to hear from you. What round would you draft a running back? Drop your answers in the comments below. I'm really curious to see where you guys stand on this. Wide receiver, the search for a number 2. Alright, let's talk about the wide receiver room. We all know CeeDee Lamb is the clear number 1 guy. But who's stepping up as the number 2? This is one of the biggest question marks on the roster right now. You've got guys like Jalen Tolbert, Javonte Turpin, and a few others like Paris Campbell, but honestly, none of them have proven they can be a reliable number 2 receiver. Paris Campbell is an intriguing name, but let's be real, he hasn't been great in his previous stops with Philadelphia and New York. Maybe he can have a redemption year, but the Cowboys can't rely on that. This is a huge need for the Cowboys, and there are some potential options in the upcoming draft. T-Mac, Trey McBride, Luther Burden, Matthew Golden, and Jackson Smith-Njigba are some of the names being thrown around. Honestly, I like T-Mac the most. He's got 1st-round talent, and the Cowboys could snatch him up if he's available at number 26. What do you think? Who should the Cowboys target as their number 2 receiver? Let me know your thoughts below. Tight end, status quo, but could change? Moving to the tight end position, there's not much to say. The Cowboys have 5 tight ends: Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker, Reverend Spann, John Stevens, and Princeton Fant. None of these guys are game changers, and the Cowboys don't necessarily need an elite tight end right now. It's more about having depth and versatility at this position. That said, don't be surprised if the Cowboys take a tight end as a luxury pick in the draft. But I don't think it's a major priority for them right now, especially with other needs that need addressing. Offensive line, the foundation of the offense. Now let's talk about the offensive line. This is a position the Cowboys have invested a lot in over the years, and the foundation is still solid. The Cowboys' starting tackles should be Tyron Smith and Terrence Steele, with some real competition brewing at right guard between Brock Hoffman, T.J. Bass, and Robert Jones. The Cowboys are really hoping for internal growth, but you could still see them add a piece perhaps in the day 3 draft picks for some added depth. The Cowboys also love drafting offensive linemen, and I expect them to take at least one offensive lineman this year. If they can grab a top 75 pick for the O-line, it would make a lot of sense. Defensive line need more help. Let's now turn to the defensive line. The Cowboys are solid at nose guard with Motzie Smith and Justin Rogers, but it's clear they need more depth. The addition of Solomon Thomas helps, but let's face it, Osa Odigizwa is really the only proven asset here. They'll need to address this position, especially when it comes to run stopping. I'm sure the Cowboys are keeping an eye on some potential nose guards in the draft. A big-bodied guy who can sit down, eat up blockers, and clog up running lanes would be a great addition. Edge rusher, building depth. At edge rusher, the Cowboys seem to be in a decent position. The return of Dante Fowler gives them a solid option across from Micah Parsons, who's going to play a huge role in this defense once again. They're hoping that Sam Williams can take a step forward in his second year, and that DeMarcus Lawrence can stay healthy. There's no shortage of bodies here, but it wouldn't be surprising if the Cowboys double dip at this position in the draft, especially in the second round where they've historically had a lot of success. Linebacker, good enough for now. The linebacker group is in a good spot for now, although DeMarvion Overshown won't be ready for Week 1. But once he's back, he could really provide a boost to the position. Maurice Kennedy, Leighton Vander Esch, and Jack Sanborn round out the linebacker room. They may also add a depth piece in the later rounds, especially for special teams. Cornerback, a big need. At cornerback, the Cowboys are a little more thin. With Trayvon Diggs recovering from an injury, the only real sure thing is Kelvin Joseph. The team could look to add a cornerback in the first or second round, which I think is a real possibility given the current depth at the position. Safety, holding steady. At safety, the Cowboys are pretty set. Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson are back, and Marquis Bell is also on the roster. There isn't much to worry about here unless a great opportunity presents itself in the draft. And there you have it, folks. That's the current state of the Cowboys roster. There's plenty of room for improvement, and the draft is going to be key for addressing some of these needs. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Who should the Cowboys draft? What positions need the most attention? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Cowboys Nation.